Everything nowadays is expensive, and we've all seen it. From gas to groceries to just the cost of living. Everything has skyrocketed in the past few years and is most likely going to keep going. And with that, college tuition has also increased tremendously over the past few years. It's hard for many students who go to these amazing four-year colleges to not have to take out some form of a student loan, which is why I think if a student graduates their college or institution, they should be forgiven of any of the student loans that they had to take out. I've personally had to take out both subsidized and unsubsidized loans, so I know, see, and understand the feeling of knowing that your loan is accruing interest and will be more than what you already have taken out. Like stated, college tuition has tremendously increased over the past few decades. In quotes, in the past 20 years, college tuition has more than doubled the rate of inflation, which largely shifts to student debt, end quote, by the Boston Mass News article. Even if you start saving from middle school, it's hard to keep up with the rate of inflation and also keep up with trying to save for college tuition. So, if we forgave student loans, it would be a huge stepping stone for students. Once they get out of college, they won't have to worry about paying off their student loans, but just worrying about the cost of inflation. Tuition is one of the many reasons why many students bow away from ever achieving their goals and dreams of going to these amazing four-year colleges. And for the students who do go to these four-year colleges and have to take out loans, the burden of these unpaid student loans accrues all the way through adulthood. In quotes, this burden can contribute to a decreased standard of living and inability to take typical investments out as a young adult should, like starting a family, saving for retirement, and buying a home, end quotes, from the Social Cost of Unpaid Student Loans article by Gottberg and Miller. Many students also don't understand until it's too late. I'm personally a first generation college student, so I'm not surrounded by many adults who've also been to college. So it was hard for me to understand how much loans actually affect your everyday life. I didn't know the difference between subsidized and unsubsidized loans until I finally took my loan out. Also, in high school, we aren't truly taught about the difference between subsidized, unsubsidized, and also just the loan process in itself. So, when we get into these amazing four-year colleges and then we're stuck between either transferring back home and starting fresh or taking out a loan and finishing your degree, most of us will take the second option and finish out our degree. Many people also argue that if we forgave all student loans, college will become more consumption-based, and people will start gaining degrees that they have no passion for anymore. However, I think the opposite. I think that if we start forgiving student loans once they graduate, it will motivate many more students to want to get these degrees. And even when times get hard, this can lower the dropout rates. End quote. About 1/3 of college freshmen drop out before finishing their degree. End quote, by the Higher Education by Demeter. So I think if we have this kind of thing in the back of our head saying if we finish out our degree and take out this loan, we can still make it. It will motivate students to want to pursue degrees that they actually care about. Another thing people argue is that this can economically stump our economy drastically. I argue that we aren't forgiving everyone's student loans. We're only forgiving the student loans of people who graduate college. This will also help build up our middle class, who are the main taxpayers in our economy. If we have more middle class built up, then we'll have many more taxpayers paying, which taxpayers also fund the federal loans that many students have to take out. So the more people we go into these amazing fields of the medical, law, engineering, we'll have many more people paying into the taxes for the funded loans. Also, another argument is that this can start the mindset of everyone can do it, which will create a reverse effect and make people not want to go to college because they see everyone doing it. However, I think we want that. We want people to see and realize that everyone can do it, so why can't you? We want to motivate students to go to college and finish out their degrees, even if they have to take out a loan, and also cut the stigma on taking out loans itself. This will also economically boost this will also be economically right and not stump our economy, because we'll see many more adults being able to get credit cards right out of college, being able to buy houses and take out loans that they weren't able, or that they're able to, since they don't have student debt from taking out loans in college anymore, since it was forgiven. So we've all seen or have been affected by not only college tuition, but just the rate of inflation nowadays, and this would just take a big ease on all of our stress with it all. I've personally been hugely affected by this, since I went to Oregon Institute last year and had to transfer back home because of how tremendous the tuition costs were there, and having to take out my own loan. So I think that this would be a huge stepping stone in going the right way for encouraging kids to go to college, teaching us a lot more about financial literacy, and a huge helping hand in many first generation students who don't understand a lot about loans and then just randomly taking them out. So I call on all of you guys to look up our national debt and see how much of that is student loans, and also start your own financial 5-year plan. You're never too young to start learning about financial literacy and start budgeting. I personally think it's one of my favorite things to do nowadays. Every Sunday I reset, start my budgeting plan for the week, and I go about my day. Obviously it's not right every time, but I think and encourage all of you guys to start your own budgeting plan for the week as well.